streamers. So I was recently introduced to this prop firm by another trader, and I like it. I looked into it, and they're pretty cool. And they had a special 50% deal that I believe I posted in the group. Yeah, so if we take a look at the group, you can see right here, I posted it. They had a 50% off of their trading challenge plans. 50% off of their trading plans from the 5,000 to the 25,000. So on the 25,000, which they normally charge 200, I decided to participate, and I only had to pay $100 for the $25,000 challenge. So I'm gonna do that and see how it goes. But on top of that, what I also really like about them, and again, this is MyFundedFX. If you scroll down, the profit target on the challenges are only 8%. This is for the two-step challenge. On the one step, if you decide to do the one step, it's a little bit higher. It's 10%, I believe. So on the two-step challenge, which is what I'm doing, is 8%. Okay, but what I like even more is the trading period is unlimited, right? Which means you can take as long as you want to pass the challenge. Now, obviously, you don't want to take years, but this is really important because a lot of traders, when they go to prop firms that limit, for example, your trading to, let's say, 30 days, which is really 20 days because you can't trade on the weekends, right? So it's really 20 days. You find traders rushing, right, to meet that deadline, and you end up taking sometimes unnecessary risk, and then you fail the challenge, right? So having that pressure of not having to trade within a certain number of days, whether it's 20, 30, 40 days, and you can trade unlimited, helps you make better trades without the pressure of trying to meet some type of deadline, right? Now, obviously, you don't want to take forever, but I think this is pretty good. And then also on top of that, only 8%, right, for your profit target. Okay. Also, minimum trading days is 1. So if you are able to do trades in 1 day and pass the challenge, you move on to the next stage the next day. You don't have to wait for 5, 10, 15 days, right? Like other prop firms, right? So you could possibly do this challenge and get funded in less than a week, which is pretty awesome, right? Okay. Now your maximum daily loss is 5%, just like a lot of other prop firms, and then your overall is 8%, which is okay, because really your daily loss is what matters most anyway, right? When you move on to the second stage of verification, profit target becomes 5%, which is lower than 8, which is pretty good. But again, your trading period is also unlimited, which is the most important. Then once you become a funded trader, profit split starts at 80%. So you keep 80, they keep 20, which is great. And that can also move up to 90%, right? As you continue to trade and improve your trading know-how. And then these are your limits, which is pretty standard. So for me, the biggest thing is the unlimited time for you to do the challenge, right? And then also the 8% instead of 10% helps, but the unlimited time, I think, to me, is the biggest deal. down here, you know, they have all their challenges listed from 5K to 200K. The 50% off, if you grab that, was up to the 25K, which they charge, you know, as you can see down here, $200 for it. And so I tested it and I only paid $100. So the 50% offer did work, but that day was the last day, as I stated in the group. So if you didn't get it that day, then if you decide to go with them, you would have to pay the full amount. I believe they have another promotion going on. Let me go up here right now, which is you have 18 days for that. So with that promotion, if I click this, yeah, you get a 5% discount now, and also 150% refund on the money that you pay for the challenge if you pass the challenge, right? So if you did the let's say 25K challenge, if you pay $200, you get 5% off, which is in that case will be $10, so you pay $190. But if you pass the challenge, you get your $190 back plus 50%, which is what? That's $95, I believe. Yeah. So 190 plus $95, that will give you 285. So you get 285 back and you only paid 190, right? If you pass the challenge. So that's great. And then of course, if you do not pass the challenge but did not violate any of the limits, you also get to repeat your challenge. So yeah, if you're interested, check them out. And you know, this might be maybe the prop firm for you. Now, like I mentioned, I did sign up for the 25K challenge. So I ran some tests with PS2K because I'm going to be using PS2K counter trade, the counter trade strategy. So I run a test. Let me bring up. Let me bring that up here. Okay, I ran a test on a 25K account. As you can see here, if we look at the settings, the deposit is 25K. I did it on USD CAD, 15-minute, and I did it for 3 months, right? So from January of 2023 to March of 2023, these are the settings that I used, and I wanted to see how PS2K, the PS2K counter trend strategy would do. And these were the results. So net profit, as you can see right here, was $3,900. So basically $4,000. The total profit generated was $5,700, and the loss was $1,800, right? So it did pretty well, right? And if you look right here, the profit factor was 3.15, which is awesome, and recovery was 3.27, which is great, right? Total trades were 690 trades, right? As you can see right here, the win rate was 82.4%. With a loss rate of 17.4. So that's great. So out of the 690, 569 trades were profitable and only 121 trades were not. And then also, if we look at the average profit was $10.11, whereas the average loss was $15.10. But obviously you had a lot more winning trades, so you do come on top. Okay. More importantly, we would have passed the challenge if we had run PS2K counter trades from January to March of 2023. As you can see right here, the drawdown was 4.11%, right? So you would have passed. In fact, if we look at the progression here by looking at the graph, right, this is the progression of the trading that happened. Very little drawdown. You can see there was a little drawdown here, then one here, 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 here. But most of the time, you really had no drawdown. The biggest drawdown came here, which is where the 4% came from. But still, it wasn't big enough to disqualify you from passing the challenge, right? But if we look, I think right around here, because you can see the equity and the balance are at $27,000. Now remember, this is the $25,000 account, so you would have had a profit of $2,000 right about here, and this was on February 7th. So by February 7th, starting in January 1st to February 7th, right around here, you would have you would have passed the challenge, and you wouldn't have to necessarily go all the way this way, right? But obviously, you know, with the test, if you put 3 months, it's going to do the whole 3 months, and you can't really like stop it in the middle and get the stats, right? So yeah, it would have taken you about 5 weeks to pass the challenge, just running PS2K counter trend strategy using the settings from January to March of 2023, right? I did go ahead and you know, because when you have the reports, you can, you know, right click and then save them as a HTML file or PDF. And I went ahead and did that. Let me go ahead and bring this here because I was trying different settings. So let's see. Let me go ahead and bring that up. This is the window show. No, actually, no, this is something different. Let me bring this up. Where are you, man? Okay, hold on. All right, so if we go right here, this was the test that we just saw. These are the settings, and we can see right here, this is the profit of 3,900, so basically 4,000. This is the same chart on this PDF right here, and you can see the drawdown was only 4.1%, so you would have passed because you met the profit target, way above the profit target, and you did not violate the limits. So that's great. More importantly, you can see in January you were profitable, in February you were profitable, and in March you were profitable. So that's great. And also, all the days of the week except for Wednesday were profitable, so that's pretty good. But what matters is you would have passed the challenge, and then here you can see all the subsequent trades and deals if you want to look into that, right? I went ahead and tried, because with this one, if you will notice in the settings, the hammer time count was set to 20, right? And the partial was a 200. Whereas if we go to this report, I changed that slightly. Let me see. Okay, yeah. What I did is everything else was the same. This is still 200. All the lot size was the same. What I changed here was the hammer time count. I brought that down to 15. So I wanted to see if I could still pass, but reduce my drawdown, because now I'm reducing the hammer time count to 15. And as a result, yes, it passed, because you can see the profit was 2,900, obviously less than the other one. But more importantly, drawdown was only 3.79%. And so you would have passed the challenge. It would have taken you a little bit longer because there was a little bit of a dip right here. And I think you would have waited up until towards the end of February to pass the challenge. But that's assuming you're only running PS2K on one asset, in this case, USD CAD. But that doesn't mean you only have to run on USD CAD. You can run it on other assets, assuming that you've tested it on those assets as well, or you have the right settings to do so, right? In this case, we were just using USD CAD, so it would have taken you 8 weeks, somewhere around here, to pass using these settings. If you use these settings, which are a little bit more aggressive, so your drawdown would have been higher, but you would have passed in about 5 weeks. So that's the difference, right, in terms of settings and how aggressive or conservative you want to be. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. I will link these reports down below in the video. So if you want to get a hold of these reports and look at them and try them out when I release the PS2K CT strategy free trial. Just keep in mind the free trial only works on demo accounts, but you want to try it on a demo account first anyway. So yeah, that's it for now. Peace.